Hi, I think we've gone live. Good evening, everyone, whoever's joining. I'm Sunali. I am the CEO of As You Are, and I'm going to speak today about the community, the community platform that we've started. Taking Deepthi to the call. We'll just wait for a few people to join before we get started. But yeah, do kind of send us your questions in the comments about As You Are, about the community, about whatever you have. Hi, Deepthi.
Hi, Sunali.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. We'll just wait for a few people to join and then we can get started.
Sure. Yep.
We're going to largely take up questions that our users have sent us. I think there are some common concerns, like a lot of people want to know about these things, but they sometimes don't know where to kind of get the information from. So we'll be talking about that today. But if there are any questions that come to us on our comments, we'll take them up as well.
Yeah.
And feel free to jump in terms of your opinion and your kind of perspective on certain questions. I'm just trying different effects to see how
I see that.
I like just fiddling around with these things. Anyway, let's just keep it natural.
Nice.
I like this one.
The heart wala.
The heart one. I think we should do it for Valentine's.
Yeah. Monday. At the end of Monday.
This is also cool. It makes me look very, I don't know.
It'll be hard to focus for people to listen.
As if I've died and I've come back to Earth to say something.
Yeah, मुझे heaven wala effect, the light and everything.
Halo. Anyway.
This is nice.
Oh,
considering the weather and everything, the snowy. Okay. There's also some filter.
This makes me look unreal. That's not me. That's not my color. I like this. Just stick with this.
Yeah.
Snowy.
But is it that cold वहाँ पे?
Yeah, it is. It's not bad, but it's cold. Yeah.
It's 18 degrees where I am, so.
Yeah, somewhere about that. But it feels cold. Chalo, we're done with the effects. Anyways, let's start.
Yeah.
I think we have enough people.
Yep.
So, hi guys, I'm Sunali. I am the CEO of As You Are, and we are here to talk about the community platform that we've launched recently. And also, we'll take up some questions that people usually send us, and go through them. And Deepthi and I will discuss them. We'll try to help out as much as we can, on this call. And the idea is to get more questions from you. Similar stuff, you can send it to us. If you want to ask questions here, you can do that. Or if you want to write to us, you can send it at support. Check out the community feature. You can go to asyouare.in, and on the front page, you'll see a few buttons, and it'll tell you where to go. So we also have group chat, and we have our legacy dating platform from which, we kind of got all the learning to actually build the platform. So yeah, go ahead, Deepthi.
It's not,
Let's start.
it's not legacy yet. It's still functioning. इतना भी पुराना नहीं हो गया है. Like I think
I
as
know,
a
I know.
UX person, you're like, okay, that is old. That is like legacy. Yeah, let's start with the first thing that I wanted to ask about. What has been the vision and mainly what has been the mission? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I lost you there, beach mein. So I was
Typical
asking what has
Indian
been the
problems.
vision and yeah.
Okay, got your question. See, what happened
Okay.
was, as a lot of us know, that we launched the dating platform back in 2020.
Right.
And we launched it because there was a need for an Indian platform, and that need kind of came up in our research. And that research was largely secondary with some interviews from various, LGBTQ people. And the common thread there was that it's very difficult to find companions, friends in the real world, right? In the physical world. And the digital world is getting like scarier and scarier day by day. There are a lot of scams, there are a lot of these things that people go through. So we started with a dating platform from a perspective to make it absolutely safe. And that's what we're doing at the moment. Also, we verify profiles manually and all of that. But as we went into it more in depth and we started talking to more people, what we realized that was that not everybody is out there to date. Right? There are people who are, who are at various stages in their LGBTQ journey, right? Lot of people are closeted. There are a huge number of people who are closeted.
Right.
So they don't find dating platforms as their go-to place to find someone. It's not their first instinct. Second is that there are some people who've just come out to their friends. There are some people who are out to the world. There are some people, even though they're closeted, looking for friends. And there's some people who are out, they're still looking for. So there are these different things and experiences that people go through. So what we wanted to do was, and obviously there's so many questions, and there's so many things that we want to know because nobody tells us, these things, so nobody talks about these things. So we realized that we need a platform where people can just be and without any pressure can ask things that they want to, post things that they want to, and we'll kind of take them up, we'll answer them, we'll have people from the community answer them, So we thought of it as a self-evolving ecosystem where people can come and help each other based on their own experiences, because a lot of different people have different experiences, but they're very valuable for the community as a whole. Right? So that was the fundamental vision, and that's still what we're trying to kind of work on. And that's where we need the help of our audience, our users, our members, to kind of come forward and tell us, what do they want, and we'll be happy to kind of build that for them.
And when you were saying questions and discussions, I think some of the questions that we've gotten in our DMs and in the community have been questions like, I'm very afraid to come out. Like, how is it? How do I do it? Has been one of the many prominent questions.
Yeah, I think that's the constant struggle, right, for everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest problem that we have, and I think every day we get this question asked by some or the other user. Either through an SMS or through an email. We get asked the same question. My advice on that has always been that first look towards becoming financially independent. That gives you a lot of courage. That gives you a lot of self-confidence. So become financially independent so that at least you are taken care of, in terms of, let's say, imagine the worst case scenario. Okay, your parents don't agree, or there is a rift and then you have to leave, or they don't want to live with you. That's the worst case scenario, right? So typically everybody's kind of scared of what will my parents think about. I don't think people are concerned about at society at large, but they're largely concerned about, okay, what about my parents? What will they think about? And I think once you get that financial independence, once you're on your own, it gives you the courage to kind of be your own person. So I think financial independence is number one. One should look for that. And I always advise it's completely an individual call. So we cannot imagine the kind of scenarios they are, right? So there could be it could also pose a threat to their life. We don't know. Like that's again a worst case scenario, right? So one, you need to kind of gauge your own socio-cultural, ecosystem, and then see what is the best thing for you to come out or not to come out. But it is always good if you could confide in someone, that one person, and at least come out to that one person. It'll give you some sort of a relief that, okay, somebody other than me, knows about it. The other way is come on our platform, vent, talk about it, and there'll be so many people to kind of help you out. So I think these are the things that I can suggest. What do you think?
No, I think, see, again, like you said, we won't know as to what one situation is, because I have heard it from, like, I do a lot of peer support calls. So whatever I tell them, at the end of the day, I say, you are the best judge of how safe it will be for you. So you want to come out, you don't want to come out, it has to be your call, because you're the best person to figure out how your parents will react. Right. So yeah, again, I would say financial stability, and I think somewhere, like you said, come out to that one person. Have at least 2-3 people who support you in what you are, or validate, your identity, and not say it's a phase and stuff like that. So I think to meet people like that, it has to be a very safe environment, even for you to feel like you want to come out. And I feel like something like community, as your community, can become a space like that for people, where even though all our stories are different, I feel there is always
I think, Deepthi, we lost the connection because of electricity issues, it seems. But I think what Deepthi was trying to say was, we could be the platform where you come out to other people, and we could be a place where you can consult other people, talk to other people, and get to know about their experiences and about their experiences of coming out. So we'll just quickly we'll give Deepthi another 30-40 seconds to kind of rejoin, and meanwhile we can take up any comments, any questions from the audience, if there is any. No questions yet. So, okay. Okay, anyone, any question that comes to your mind regarding LGBTQ, regarding your identity, regarding as you are, anything that you want to know from us, we'll be happy to kind of take it on. Of course. Okay, so we have a question from Jessie Koinai. Do you think we can make genuine connection through the community, not just romantical, but also friendship? I think you can, because so the idea of community is to connect on common topics, on common. We have Deepthi back. I think the idea of community is to connect on common things. So once you are, let's say, part of a discussion, You can discover more people through those discussions, through those topics. So there is a room for meeting people who think like you. So that's what the community platform can actually kind of provide you. We lost you, Deepthi, for a bit.
Yeah, Indian problems, power cut.
Indian problem number 2, power cut. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, what I was saying is a space like community where you can watch before you feel safe enough to come out, tell your story. Because even though we come from different, like India is a diverse country, we come from different places, different cultures, we always have similar struggles, if not exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I think listening to 4 or 5 people going through the same thing will somewhere empower you कि you're not alone in this.
Absolutely. That's what one of the viewers also kind of asked. So her question was, can we actually make real connections via community? And the answer to that is yes. When you connect with people over stories, over discussions,
Yeah.
you genuinely build relationships, strong bonds.
Yeah.
You could find a friend, a companion, anything,
Yeah.
and anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've met a lot of people on support groups or online who then started coming to support groups, and I've bonded with so many of them. So I personally think you can definitely find friends. So another question that we frequently get is if, like for example, gay men or even lesbian women or anybody queer have that pressure to get married by their parents. So what would you recommend as a way out, or how do they go about a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, a typical Indian problem. Marriage is the only thing in life that we have to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go through that, whether LGBTQ or otherwise. Also, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, with hetero people also, there's a lot of pressure to get married, even if you're not ready. There's always this pressure कि अच्छा शादी कर लो, फिर बच्चे भी तो करने हैं, and all of that. I feel don't give in to the pressure, because obviously this will not make you happy, and this is not a long-term solution at all. So don't look for, don't go for short-term solutions which may look like long-term solutions. And if you're feeling something, it's not a phase. You must talk to people about it. Again, can't emphasize more. Similar things are happening to a lot of people across India, anywhere. So share your story, get more opinion, talk about it, and you'll know how to address these situations. But if you don't talk about it at large, you will get 1 or 2 opinions. Like I'm giving you 1 opinion, right? That's not the answer, right? And that's not the way to go for it. It may apply to someone, it may not apply to another person. So, but when you get like 10, 15 different opinions, then you know that there are other people who've done this and this is how you've handled it. And that's exactly why we need people to come on the platform, talk about these things.
Yeah.
Like 𝘞𝘌 𝘊𝘰𝘮 is saying, I know so many people who've done masters and PhD so that they could avoid marriage. In a way, it's good. We leading to a lot of educated people, I must say.
No, but that if you look at it in another if you look at it in another angle, it's literally brain drain for India, right?
It is.
A lot of people who could have achieved all what they have achieved abroad could have achieved that in India. So if you look at the Indian economy, we are losing people because of the cultural homophobia and transphobia that the country propagates.
Actually.
So yeah,
there has been a major talent drain from our country because of this one reason. So that's something to consider.
I think I'll answer Jeet's first question also. I think you were slightly late. Indian problem 1 is bad internet.
Right.
Yeah. So So another question is, are there fake profiles in a community?
What is a fake profile?
Hmm.
How do you define what is a fake profile? What do you think is a fake profile?
I think, personally for me, I will look at a fake profile as somebody who is saying they're something but they're not.
I think one need not worry about fake profiles on the community because nobody can bother you,
True.
you know.
Yeah.
And if you come across somebody, just block them, right? And when you block them, we'll get a
Yeah.
block report, and we will go through that profile. And if we see some sort of suspicious activity, and we'll block the person from the community completely, right? So don't worry about fake profiles. Also, because on the community, you don't have to. You can be anonymous. You can use any name and
Yeah.
participate, right? So it's going to get very difficult to judge which one's fake. So the idea is that profile should not create nuisance, right? That profile should not be harassing other people. So as and when that happens, and we're trying to take care of that also, but whenever that happens, we have a very strict policy and we will block that person. So whether you're using hate speech or you are harassing someone or doing whatever, the answer to all of that is banning from the community, blocking completely. So yes, there'll be fake profiles. I think a lot of people end up making fake profiles, but the idea is to actually know the intent of the fake profile. If they're there to scam people, then we'll get to know very easily. But if they're just there as listeners or viewers, then we need not be worried about it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. And so in your journey with, like, from the research to the app and now the community, what has been the experience that you sort of learning about the queer community?
There's been a lot of learning, and to be honest, when we started, I think we knew just 1% when we started. But over these 18 months, we've learned a lot, and that too through participation of our members. They've taught us a lot. They've asked for things, they've asked questions, and we know a lot. I particularly feel very strongly about trans issues, and I think it's one of those things that people don't talk about, but we need to pay more attention there as a community. We need to be a little more cognizant of their problems and their issues, because they're like many of them we can't imagine, So I think we need to, and that's what I've learned. I think be more sensitive, be more empathetic, don't judge, understand is what I feel. I've tried to follow. Yeah, so far. Yeah.
So I'll ask sort of like I don't know. I think it's a fun question. So something about movies. Like, nowadays we have mainstream movies, which like actual Bollywood movies with like big names and everything, doing movies around queer issues. I only saw, only one is out there that I want to talk about. The movie 𝘞𝘌 𝘊𝘰𝘮𝘮𝘶 Chandigarh, that movie, and the trailer that had come out. So I'm from South, and my only reference to Punjabis is mostly from movies. But when I saw this movie, I was like, this is such a stereotype of a Punjabi man. And I wanted to ask you, are people in Chandigarh all like that?
No. So there are those kind of people all over the country. You can't. That does not say, okay, all Chandigarh boys are like that, or all Chandigarh men are like that. Probably a small percentage is like that, but yes, we all know for movies there's a lot of character exaggeration also.
Yeah.
And it's obviously fictional and all of that. But yes, there are, and they're not like that. So it's I think you'll find those kind of men everywhere in the country, be it South, be it North.
Yeah.
It's just that the dialect is Punjabi, so it feels like all the Panju boys are like that.
But what do you think about Bollywood, mainstream Bollywood doing queer movies, queer topics, movies on queer topics?
It's both good and bad. Good in a way that it's being talked about. So there is a discussion. At least something has started. There's a discussion, right? And yeah, obviously these like Jeet is saying, these characters get noticed a lot. So they tend to stand out. Their content tends to stand out. But I think they still need to do a lot more research than they are doing into. So, for example, in Chandigarh Kare Aashki, they're trying to highlight trans issues, but I think they don't have the grip of it. They're trying to do it from a commercial drama perspective, but I think you need to really, they need to really dig deep. And I think that's the difference between Bollywood and Hollywood, that Hollywood does its research quite well, in the recent past, we've seen a lot of movies which have won Oscars on trans, on LGBTQ issues, and if you see them, you won't feel odd. You feel that it's natural and well researched. I think that's the mentality that even Indian filmmakers need to kind of adapt. And some of them you would see on OTT now. That one particular character that I can think of is Inspector Khan in Arya. I think it was a well done character. It's not an exaggeration, right? It's not an exaggeration at all.
True.
And it's done well. He's not like standing out as a gay man. He's just like any other person, and he's gay. And I thought that was real and good representation.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree, because I want to see stories where the story doesn't revolve around the person's queerness, because so many people who are queer are much more than just that one identity, right? So I think Arya did a really good job around portraying that police inspector. And another thing also, I've noticed the general trend to bring out some of these controversial topics is typically through comedy. And I think even through comedy somewhere, I feel they're not being sensitively done, because people who are watching end up laughing at the characters rather than with the characters.
Correct.
So,
correct. And I think that was also brought up in one of the reviews for Chandigarh Kare Aashki, was that in the way it was done, the audience started laughing, and it wasn't like done well according to the reviewer, and especially for a trans person.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, so when I'm like even reading a review about a mainstream done Bollywood movie, I don't think I want to read a cis person's review. I would be like, okay, who wrote this? Then I will read. Otherwise, I don't think it holds the credit.
It doesn't. I also agree.
Yeah, but see, I think even with comedy narratives, there are like series abroad, like Sex Education, which have done a good job, where you're laughing, but you're also taking it seriously. But like you said, I think like you said, we're still on the learning curve, or like at the bottom of the learning curve, where we need to really push and do it the right way.
Yeah, I think Sex Education is a perfect example of how it's normalized with the youth, and I think that's like the scariest time for an LGBTQ person, when they are teenagers, when they are just discovering themselves. That's like a tough time. And Sex Education, you would see how it's been normalized, and I like that series because of that. It's they've not made a big deal out of it, but they've shown like this is how LGBTQ relationships are. So it's very like matter of fact kind of a thing. So
Yeah. And also Otis, who is sort of like the peer trying to educate, not like somebody in authority educating, but as a peer, he's trying to not necessarily educate also, but normalize it in a way. So I think
Right.
we'll need a lot of time to get there
Yeah. Yeah.
as a country. Yeah. And what did you think about Gili Pucci or the other series, Four More Shots?
Four more shots, I thought still good. A lot of drama. It was it's supposed to be like that. Indian version of Sex and the City, but still, I think the inclusion kind of helped. And
Okay.
also, it wasn't in my mind, it wasn't too exaggerated. It was, but it wasn't also. And again, the
Okay.
relationship that they showed was like, between friends, it was like, yeah, okay, cool. It's like,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
so so yeah. So my opinion is, I like it. I would understand if
Hmm.
people don't, but I still feel it's a step towards acceptance.
Hmm. And again, I think in Giripuchi also, what I felt was again the focus was not only on the queerness, but they also show how hard it is in people who are in those situations come out. So I think that was really well done as well.
Yeah, yeah. Although I feel there were two issues that they were trying to highlight. One was obviously queer, and the other was
Yeah,
class issue. Uh, and
class
I
and caste.
think
Yeah,
they did a good, yeah, class and caste issue, and I think they did a good job though with the narrative so far.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think from a class and caste perspective also, they have shown ki, coming out is still hard wherever you are, and coming out is an issue wherever you are
Right.
in the country. And I feel like those stories need to come out from various diverse spaces. And again, I feel like having a space to bring out those stories where people feel safe enough to write about themselves or write about stories like this. I'm hoping really community, as you are community, really becomes that space for a
Right.
lot of people. Do we have
Hmm.
questions?
I'm just checking. No question yet. I think there were some comments. Uh, just Jeet's putting one more comment there. No questions so
Somebody
far.
called Diksha had comment. Somebody called Diksha had commented. Just my thought. The movie, I think, mainly for mass acceptance. People usually run away from such topics or just shut their brains when discussions happen. That is true. Yeah.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, because it's taboo.
Yeah, Diksha,
So
we
anything
agree.
else that you want to add? Yeah, definitely. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you would want to ask us about the community or in general, any questions.
Hmm. There was one question that we got. I think today morning we got the question about workplace harassment. But I think we'll need to do another series for that, another episode for that, and we'll probably bring in one
Okay.
HR person to kind of educate people about that. Uh,
Hmm.
but I would want to take more generic questions today. How were people dating before there were apps and social media? I don't know. Yeah, you tell me, Jeet, how were they dating before that? I think there were these physical spaces that people used to go to, like these bars and underground bars or whatever. But again, these places were not women friendly. So let me put it that way.
Yeah.
They were more male oriented spaces than female oriented, because I I have never seen such spaces, and also the whole persona of these, or the demeanor of these places were, a bit shady. It's not like just anybody would go there. So I think that's how they met, probably. What do you think, Deepthi?
I don't think Jeet was asking the serious question. He's like tuition classes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuition class. Yeah, mostly
Yeah, I
institutes
think
is where you meet
as
people.
yeah, I mean, as far as I remember, dating wasn't even like a thing, right? At least when I'm feeling very old right now. But I think Yahoo chat rooms had some queer rooms. Jo Yahoo chat had those rooms, right? So rooms or could had some. But yeah, as dating as such is probably like you said, common places, workplaces, or schools, or tuition classes.
Right. So let's just wait for 2 more minutes for more questions. Otherwise,
Sure.
I think we can end this.
Yeah.
So any more? Okay, so I think we're good to go. Good to leave. So yeah, guys, check out the community platform at app.asyouare.in and tell us how you feel about it. Give us your feedback. We'll be happy to kind of consider it. We'll be happy to add features to it, things that you might want. Just tell us, and we'll be happy to kind of implement that. So we shall meet you next week then. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was saying any questions. Yeah, any questions they have, they can still DM us.
Yeah, you can always use Insta to DM us and send your questions here.
Yep.
And next week we have a very interesting interview coming up. We'll keep you informed. Just stay tuned and wait for our, I think, invite by Saturday. I think we put the invite up on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to personally. Lot of learning there. Yeah.
Yeah, and internally we will fight as to who is going to do the interview.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, one question, Deepthi, how to turn this off now?
Cross on top.
Cross, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see you.
And then save option. Yeah. See you. Bye.
Okay, bye.